This program is brought to you by Colgate. Brush twice a day for strong, healthy teeth.
Good evening, welcome to Simpson at 8. The Fiji Women's Rugby Sevens team, the Fijianas, are currently 7th in the world after a fantastic outing during the Trans-Tasman leg of the World Rugby Sevens series. They are currently at their best position since their first outing in 2013. Joining me this evening to discuss the development of women's rugby in Fiji and the progress being made by the Fijianas is head coach Saiasi Fuli. Welcome to Simpson at 8. All right. You were selected as the coach of the Fijiana Sevens team in January 2019, middle of the season.
Yes.
So, did you apply for the job or were you given the job? And how were you given the job?
I was just given the job. Correct, that was straight after the Dubai Sevens. I was involved with the men's team. The men's team and the board and the CEO decided that we need to leave the Fijiana Sevens the program and like they have just came back from 2 tournaments and just with 1 point, and the rest of the teams are way far away with their points, and they just need to elevate and try and develop the Fijiana Sevens.
So what was told to you?
My task is to put the Fijiana teams in the core series again, not to get demoted. And no, it was a very challenging task given by Fiji Rugby Union, and I accepted the job.
Because you were working with Beba prior to that, and
yes, correct. All my life I work with men's rugby, schools rugby, club rugby, provincial rugby, and international rugby. Only with men's rugby, and it was like a totally new environment for me to go across and join women's rugby. And in that case, only with 1 point and halfway through the season, it was like a big challenge for me. Where do I start? Where do I end after the series? Will I achieve this target of maintaining the Fijiana in the core
so
team?
You knew you had a big challenge that was given to you.
Big task, and but accepted the job, and why not? I'll take the Fijiana.
So you mentioned briefly the state of the Fijiana when you took over. I mean, it was as you said, really struggling, under threat of being demoted.
Yeah, correct.
And they were placed 9th overall in the 2018 season.
Yep.
And then in your first season, they finished 10th, which is last.
Yeah, correct.
But stayed within the series.
Yeah.
What were the lessons you learned in your first season?
Yeah. First of all, what I did is that I look at the very last tournament, which is Dubai, and I have to check the intensity of the competition, how strong is the competition, and I knew straight away that we are far behind. And from that day, I set the plan, I set the goal that this is the way to go for
what were we far behind on? Was it the conditioning? Were we the mindset, the knowledge of the game? What was the resources? What was it?
There's a lot of factors involved with rugby when it comes to international rugby. The intensity of the game is too high and strong. The condition of the girls are not up to par with the required level to play at international sevens, and we don't have the depth to select, and there's limited base to select from, and it's quite challenging for us, and with that points of only 1 after 2 tournament, we have to start straight away with mapping the plan, and I have to take across some of the methods, some of the systems, some of the environment, the training program from the men's cross over to the women's, and that is the only way that I can guarantee that it will help the Fijiana.
So no difference. Treat them as like a men's team. Was that generally the philosophy?
That's the philosophy of bringing the training mindset, environment, and process and system from the men's towards the Fijiana. And even training, I have to involve the Fijiana team with men's team, playing scrimmage and opposition and even games. Even sometimes we play against men's with less contact, but it's just transition and multi-phases. And the progression,
that awareness, the development start to come through. So those were some of the lessons and challenges. Obviously, you faced a wide array of challenges. We can't go through all of them. I mean, because of the state of it. But you're now regarded as the most improvement women's team on the circuit. So if you were to point at the key ingredients in making them, finish 5th in Sydney, very impressive outing, very impressive performance in Hamilton. What were the key ingredients in the change that we've seen?
Yeah, we started off with an open trial, and there's a lot of girls that were interested because of the new management. And
so you wanted a clean slate in terms of bringing everyone in?
When we bring all the girls, we set the markers. So we want everyone to reach 17.5 in yo-yo. And that is
that's men's struggle to the
that's a men's marker. That's 17. Even currently the men's are running at 20-21 in yo-yo. And also we set targets on SNC, strength-wise and condition-wise, and also functional role. And we emphasize to the girls that your core skills are below level, and we need to spend as much time as we can developing the core skills of the girls and the rugby knowledge itself.
Right.
And how best they can manage the game every minute, every tournament, and throughout the series to be consistent. And when you start winning, they can feel that the fruit of the hard work is there.
So there's both physical and mental too, the understanding of the game and how it's played.
Yes, and we have to involve the different departments in FRU, the academy, Master Bill Ngandolo, and them, the development unit of Koli Sewambu, to incorporate all this department to help and elevate Fijiana Sevens
to the progress that we're seeing at the moment. And it's going to be a challenge to sustain because it's a tough competition. Now I just wanted to say before we go to the break, the Fijiana coaching job, it's quite a prominent position now, but it was never always seen that way. In the past it was, some people saw it, oh, that's a demotion or a sideline job for a coach to be put in there. Do you feel that the perception has changed, that it's actually now respected and seen as one of the most important appointments in Fiji rugby?
Yes, even for me personally, when I was playing during those times, Murray Sevens, I used to see Fiji women's rugby. It was like an entertainment or some sort of social engagement during Murray Sevens.
Not taken seriously.
Yeah, and now, it's the World Rugby, they've encouraged all rugby unions to develop women's rugby on a higher note, and there's an Olympic, there's the World Cup.
It's an Olympic sport.
Olympic sport. There's the
Commonwealth medals Games on the line.
There's the Pacific Games, and the series is an annual event, and why not? And it's there for the girls, for the females in Fiji. Why not? I want to encourage you to come.
Just as important as the males playing the sport.
And the perception is, 20 years ago is no longer there. This is a high performance setup. It's an Olympic sport. It's like a business, and
professionalism.
We treat this with high regard when it comes to women's rugby, because of the kind of environment, the kind of competition that we are involved with.
And obviously when you're playing internationally, the exposure is there. If you're not at the high standard, you get exposed pretty
yes,
badly.
and when you play poorly and you're exposed on a negative note, but those competitions are every 4 years, every 2 years, and the series every year. And it's a business, and it's a high performance setup for women's rugby.
It's serious stuff now.
Yeah, it's serious business.
We are with Saiasi Fuli, coach of the Fijiana. Don't go away, we'll be right back after the break.
This program is brought to you by Colgate. Brush twice a day for strong, healthy teeth.
I'm gonna meet Dad.
Continue to watch movies on the big screen with Colgate Monday Movies. Simply buy one movie ticket and present it together with one empty pack of any Colgate Total toothpaste or a Colgate 360 toothbrush and get another movie ticket free. Now showing in Damodar cinemas near you. Promotion begins 15th January and ends 15th November. Conditions apply. Check in-store posters for more details.
This program is brought to you by Colgate. Brush twice a day for strong, healthy teeth.
Welcome back. You're watching Simpson at 8. We're with Coach Fuli, head coach of the Fijiana team. And I just want to continue on the vein that we left before we went to break on women's rugby. How it's become very important. How it's, it's an Olympic sport.
Yep.
That's the highest pinnacle of sports in the world. And this is the year where we go after that medal. But I just wanted to ask, generally, how do you see women's rugby in general in the country? The development of women's rugby in Fiji. Is it now getting the popularity, the attention, more importantly, the respect that it deserves?
Yes, I believe the Fiji Rugby Union board and executive, they've treated women's rugby with high regard. They have a development manager for women. There's 2 development officers for women. And
so it's got its own people now.
Yeah, under the development unit, they have their own department, the women's rugby development. And they go out to schools, they do the Get Into Rugby, JRR, and also the mass participation, and the introduction of the Skipper Cup competition for women's last 2 years. That's one of the biggest achievement when it comes to rugby, women's rugby development.
So that's provincial level now.
It's provincial level. They started with the 10s, and last year they started with the 15s, and they will start again with the under 20 competition for women's, and the rugby union have also introduced the sevens window, and every tournament such as Mare Sevens, Nawaka, Raka Sevens, they have the women's category. So the popularity is there, the development is there, and it will capture the attention of
and the
girls.
respect is there now.
And the respect. And if your national team, such as the Fijiana Sevens, competing at the World Seven Series, and producing results, it will complement the development that has been going on with Fiji Rugby, and also attract the attention of females to join the sport. And I encourage them to join Rugby Union. There's 7s and 15s for women's rugby category.
So, and obviously it's been formerly exclusively a male sport, or seen as an exclusively male sport. So what needs to be done to get more young girls, more women in rugby?
It will be the hands of the development unit to go out in schools, do a lot of...
so starting early?
Yeah, empowerment and the introduction of rugby, the classes, and there's the Get Into Rugby program. There's another New Zealand program, Rugby RIP, and
so the stereotype.
The more they go out to the schools and communities and villages, and help and spread the gospel of rugby between both categories, males and females, it will help develop and encourage more females to join rugby.
Yeah, the stereotype at the gender in the past was that, it's too physical for women, but like any sport, you train for it, you'll be... And so women can play just as well as men. Yeah,
it's good that the coverage there is for Fijiana, playing in international competition.
Against pretty well-resourced, powerful teams, England, Australia, New Zealand, France. You can tell that their standard is quite high, but our girls are holding their own.
Yeah, and the traction is that for the young girls in Fiji to look at, not only Fiji, other teams like the US, New Zealand, Australia, Canada, the development of women's rugby and their investment in women's rugby is so high, and that's why they send teams, their second string teams to competitions such as the Oceania and Hong Kong and other side competition, sending their women's team. and it is really developed the spread of women's rugby across
the globe.
Across the globe.
And so you've mentioned some of the things that needs to be done to develop. Is there enough investment being put in by FRU to women's rugby, or can more be done? There's some progress,
yes.
but can there be more done?
Yeah, that question can be answered properly by the development unit, Mr. Koli Sewambu. The volume of work they've done, previously by Saleh for the last 10 years.
But from your point of view, what further resources is needed? Because you don't have the same access, one would argue, the same kind of funds, level of funds, technical expertise that the men's team have and the Flying Fijians have.
Yeah,
I mean, that's a fact.
Yeah, that's correct, Stan. Flying Fijians, the men sevens, they have these well-resourced equipment and technical staff, and even our agreement with Fiji Rugby is that, if we produce the results, can we also have the same resource that are given to other teams? And positively for the last 6 months. Everything has been provided by Fiji Rugby Union. They provide the contracts, same that was provided to the men's, the 7s and the 15s.
But that's a huge development.
Yes, correct. And it will entice other women's women rugby players to come and join our extended squad. And we applied for the GPS. So right now we are just the same standard with New Zealand, Australia, and America. Everyone has a GPS monitor.
So you know where they are on the field and how they...
We monitor their running volume, we monitor their efficiency, they monitor their productivity, and we request for transport, we request for allowance, we request for everything that is also provided to the other...
But essentially your philosophy, as I see it, is if you produce the results, you'll get the investment.
Yeah.
Is that the way you're looking at it?
That's the agreement, and you have to abide by it, and that's why we are working very hard on that agreement. So come on, girls, work hard, because you will provide the future and you will inspire the next generation of girls, and produce the results. We'll get all these.
And I understand that you pulled in some results because you've used some of your even just local rugby friends, former internationals, to come and join you, like Ice, Jim Volavola, some of these guys that have stood up and come and helped you with the team. So in other words, you just pulled what you have was available on the ground to assist you.
Yes, those are my support staff, Mr. Ice, Jim Volavola, there's Sabumbola, Juna Sila, and our trainer is Tikiko from Nanronga. He's also the trainer for Nrua, the Flying Fijian that played against the Barbarians. And even the girls, they appreciate and accept the male-dominated management, and they want the tough training program, and then how best we can encourage them to keep working hard until they get it right. And the relationship, it's quite hard to build that relationship. It's a women's team, and the trust and the male-dominated management. But in the future, we want to encourage more female coaches and management to come to step up and look after women's rugby. We will not be here for long. We just want to help set the standard and set the benchmark for women's rugby and take them on a consistent program on international competition, and encourage other female coaches and management to come through and take over.
Great development work. Don't go away. You're watching Simpson at 8. We'll be back again after the break.
This program is brought to you by Colgate. Brush twice a day for strong, healthy teeth.
I'm gonna meet Dad.
Continue to watch movies on the big screen with Colgate Monday Movies. Simply buy one movie ticket and present it together with one empty pack of any Colgate Total toothpaste or a Colgate 360 toothbrush and get another movie ticket free. Now showing in Damodar cinemas near you. Promotion begins 15th January and ends 15th November. Conditions apply. Check in-store posters for more details.
This program is brought to you by Colgate. Brush twice a day for strong, healthy teeth.
Welcome back to Simpson at 8. We're with the Fijiana coach, Saiasi Fuli. Now, before we went to break, you talked about that the FRU has given contract to the Fijiana players, which is a wonderful development. So, tell us about the type of contracts that they're getting, how it has helped.
Oh yes, that's a huge boost for the girls.
When did they get their first contract? Sorry.
November last year.
So it's relatively new, like almost brand new.
Yeah.
Arrangement.
They used to have contracts before, but now we have to ask for the different categories, the different rates, and you know it's good that the board have approved to have the contracts, and you know we categorize into three. They're classified that some girls have the category A, some have B, and some have C, according to the playing experience, performance-wise, disciplinary issues, and all those kind of stuff. You know, we categorize the different girls, and you know, FRU they provided 12 to 15 contracts on those three categories.
Yeah. And also, obviously, those who are the lower grade have the chance to come up when they...
Yes, and you know, there's bonuses and incentives. So even the C categories, if they perform well, and you know, even the last tournament, some of the in the C group, they perform well in Dubai and Cape Town. You know, and you know, the reward was given by FRU. No, they can easily change the contract and provide the bonuses, or push to the next level.
So that's a really great development, eh?
Yeah.
And let's talk about the players, because you've said, you know, and you have a limited pool.
Yeah.
We don't have the big numbers to choose from. Very few clubs.
Yeah.
So, what generally is their background? How did they get involved in rugby? Well, most of like the players in your team.
You know, 12 months ago when I started, the pool was not there. The depth was not there. And now we are very stable with our depth chart, and you know, we have 30 players now involved with women's rugby. In terms of their background, there's 11 of our current squad are still at university. Some studying in uni, some FNU.
So mainly students?
Yeah, students. So there's 15 in our current squad from the age of 17, 18, and 19. But the rest, just a few of them are employed with their respective organization, and the rest, they stay at home. And, you know, lucky we provide the contracts, and they honor it.
So it gives them something to move on. Eh?
And,
so they're playing really out of passion, some of them.
Correct.
Because as a student, as a...
Yeah.
So
and, you know, sometimes they ask the condition about we have contracts. We provide them contracts, and they have their school work. And you know, if there's a competition and there's exams, we always prioritize exams, and we will not take you for the tours, and we will
so ensure the balance is there for
so
them.
we always encourage them to keep working hard on their school, and you know, the rugby is always there. Rugby is always on the side, and if you can come back, we will welcome them back, and you know.
Because mentally they would have to be tough, because you know they're breaking the mold. Many
Yes.
of them, you know, they're doing something that not many women are involved in. So you know, they break stereotypes when they come and put themselves forward.
That's the right word, Stan. When you say tough, our program is really tough. Some have fallen off. Some have quitted our program because it's really tough. And I'm not saying that it's really tough for you not to come and join, because of the intensity and the competitiveness of the international competition. And that's why we created this environment. You train hard, you work hard, you survive in this competition, and we will send you.
And therefore you'll be able to thrive there, because you're representing the country.
And you will sustain playing in the competition. And if you look in the last 4 tournaments, the first leg, Cape Town and Dubai, and the recent one, Sydney and Hamilton, you know, progressive-wise, performance-wise, they're improving because they've managed to sustain and train well and hard in the.
So the situation they're facing is not new because they're facing it here and they're in the training.
Yes, because we bring across the training setup from the men's. So because I came from the men's sevens, so I bring across the kind of rugby setup.
I'm some of the players that I've watched, but you can say some of the players that stood out for you. There's the top try scorer is Asenate Savu.
Yeah.
Luisa Tisol was selected in the Sydney Sevens Dream Team, so that's quite an achievement. Anna Maria Naimasi, DHL Impact player at Sydney, and obviously you have one of the youngest captains in the teams. That's Tokasa Sinya. She's 19. Huh?
She's 19.
Right.
Yeah, turning 20 this
So
year.
the players seems to have developed well individually and as a team. You know.
Yeah. We always set targets for them. We always tell them that the tournament is there for you to go and enjoy and play to your fullest and you know, and try and play consistently and serve your country well when you play rugby out there, you know, and always try and write your name, you know, encourage them, write your name on stone.
That's right. And obviously there's a strong bond that's built among
and like I said previously, you know, it's a big task for us to build that relationship. It's for now it's a very solid foundation for women's rugby, and you know, I can tell that we can sustain playing in that environment of women's the serious rugby, and also can compete well in Tokyo, which is 5 months away.
The capabilities there.
Yeah.
So for the you talked about the talent pool, the 30. How does someone break into that pool? How do you find new players that's coming out? Where do you go to look?
Yeah, it's good that you know, we have tournaments around Fiji. Recently, we have the Coral Coast. We've managed to identify some other girls with the help of the academy coaches, Master Bill and them. And you know, there's Nawaka Sevens, because all these tournaments they always encourage the women's category, and you know, this is our criteria. We always go out and look for potential players who can come and join a program and encourage them that there's the tournament out there. Yeah, there's the pathway
for them to move into.
You know, even our pathway is stable right now. Our depth chart, we have a very strong foundation. If there's injuries, just like recently, we had our 2 best players that were injured in Hamilton, both knee injuries, and they had to be sent back to Fiji. And that's where I have to pull. There's the pathway, and I can easily just go and call FRU and pick the replacement very easily.
And just for the public out there, when they're injured, they're well covered. You know, with insurance, the medical, that's all covered by Fiji Rugby Union or World Rugby. How is that covered?
Everything is covered, insurance-wise, medical-wise, and welfare. We have the player pathway development, looked after by Galen. Our medical team looked after by Jennifer, and the insurance well covered, prepared by Fiji Rugby Union, and you know, the safety of the girls are there,
and the game, the World Rugby has really emphasized safety in the players, you know.
Yes, player welfare is very paramount for World Rugby. So when you go into competition, you are safe, and also even the competition that are sanctioned by Fiji Rugby Union or Oceania, it's safe, and it's, you know, girls can come and train and play and enjoy their rugby.
Right. Yeah. So Tokyo Olympics, what's the plan? What's the target to get us gold or medal at the games? How are you building for that? What you plan to develop in the next few months as time comes close?
We had our qualification.
Make some history.
We had our qualification last December. That was part of our long-term plan when we set up our plan for last year, and you know, qualifying to the Olympics is a big achievement for us. And you know, in 5 months' time, we'll be in Tokyo. And you know, for us, right now, our short-term goal is to play well in every tournament.
Right.
You know, if you play well consistently and producing results, that is the stepping stone to go towards the Tokyo Olympics. I don't want to be ambitious. I don't want to. I can just provide a realistic goal. We will go there for a medal in Tokyo. You know. Why not?
Know that the Fiji rugby public is a very ruthless public. You know, very demanding of the girls. Yeah, what's your message to the fans of the support?
I know. You know, the public of Fiji, they always demand and expect only one thing, and that is a win. And
especially in sevens.
Yeah, in sevens, and you win, they celebrate. And if you lose, it's better not to come back to Fiji for a month. But yeah, my message is very clear. We will work hard from now on. The remainder of the tournament is there for us to compete and compete well and try and produce the results, positive results, and keep winning. You know, we want to be in the top 6 after the series in Paris, and that is a solid foundation for us to go to
then
to
aim
Tokyo.
for the top 3.
Yeah.
It's
tough. I don't want
to
lie to the public that we will go to Tokyo and bring back the not bring back the gold and win the gold, but we are in there to, as a contention for one the medal. And you know, why not? Why not? And we will you know, encourage the girls to work hard on the remainder of the tournaments, and Tokyo will come, and
we look forward to it.
We will look forward
so, final question, Fuli, for a young girl who's watching out there who may be dreaming of becoming a Fiji rep, what does it take to become a Fijiana?
Well, yes, that's something that I want to encourage to the public, especially the girls. You know. Come forward. I encourage you to come and play this sport, rugby. There's rugby 7, rugby 15s. You know, I don't want to discourage other sports such as netball because it's a bigger sport, female-dominated sport in Fiji, and other sports such as basketball. But I don't want to encourage girls that, you know, look at our girls, Fijiana, they're playing well. Our message to them is that we are here to restore women's rugby, and the second one, you have to inspire the young girls in Fiji to join this sport. I know it's a contact sport, but no, your safety is paramount here. Come and join Rugby Union, and you know, we have different programs we can offer you. We can empower you. We can teach you. We can develop you to be a world-class athlete.
And it's something that can be enjoyed.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Saiasi Fuli, Fijiana coach, thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Stan. Yeah. Thank you for the program.
That was Simpson at 8 for the evening. Join me again next Thursday at the same time. Good night.
This program was brought to you by Colgate. Brush twice a day for strong, healthy teeth.
I'm gonna meet Dad.
Continue to watch movies on the big screen with Colgate Monday Movies. Simply buy one movie ticket and present it together with one empty pack of any Colgate Total toothpaste or a Colgate 360 toothbrush and get another movie ticket free. Now showing in Damodar cinemas near you. Promotion begins 15th January and ends 15th November. Conditions apply. Check in-store posters for more details.